With 2 rotations to go, England has a chance to pull away in the men's team competition. Craig Heap was the alternate in 1994, but is making his mark in KL.
Obviously, it was a positive learning experience. He's putting it to good use here. Uprise full, right into a death. You know, Scott, he pulled in a little too close for my liking on that. Beautiful. Pirouette right away. Another death. Nobody does 2. Boy, England swings on this event.
Using great team power here, using Lee McDermott, their star, to good advantage, even though he's not completely right. And another good routine by Craig Heap.
These guys are on a high now. They can feel that gold medal.
Yep, England is indeed in the swing of things here at the Putra Stadium.
A fantastic routine, Scott. He has one huge release move. It's a deft, extremely difficult to do, 1.5, but in his routine, he does it twice. That's unheard of.
Chalk flies when he hits the bar. 8.95, a solid mark for England's Craig Heap.
Come on, lads.
Come on, lads. Here's Richard Aikita of Canada. Speaking of getting going, this team's really got a push now.
Oh, it's a tough event to do it on, but this is Richard's event. Beautiful single pommel work. Now, he's got a battle going on in his mind right now. I'm sure he knows the team is struggling. The gold medal is slipping away, but this is not the event to let your thoughts interfere with your movement. Scott, he's working that horse. Great attitude. Way to go, Richard. Push it through. He's got to get it through the scissors. These are a requirement. Judges must see them, but it breaks the rhythm of the routine. Tough to keep it going, and he's got it to the dismount.
Richard Aikita of BC, tall and slender for a gymnast, but has nice lines on an apparatus like the pommel horse. He's also got good upper body strength. Here's Andrei Kratsov of Australia. He's their acknowledged star, 3 times a national champion. His coach, Warwick Forbes, will put him up to the rings.
I don't know how he's going to get through this event, Scott. He has been struggling with his shoulder. We've seen it time and time again throughout the week of training. And this event is a killer on the shoulders. Very simple press to handstand. Oh, you can see he's in trouble. Normally, he would be much lower on that inverted cross. Struggling to keep the ring steady. Now, his shoulders should be in line with his hands. But I don't think he can take the pain right now, Scott. He's going to try and put in an average performance, just a stock routine. Give his teammates a score if he can. Well, he's met all the requirements, but he's taken out all of his big strength moves. The score is going to be low.
Competing in his first Commonwealth Games, Andrei Kratsov putting tremendous pressure on a hurting shoulder.
This is a very simple element. L right through to a press, but he even looks like he's grimacing there. This is not an event you can hide on. If you've got a sore shoulder, it's impossible.
Well, more trouble for the Australians. 8-0-5-0 for Kratsov. They had been making up ground on England, not anymore. 9-0 for Richard Aikita, a solid score on the pommel horse. After 5 rotations, England continues to lead, pulling away from Australia and Canada. Final rotation in the men's team event, and the Canadians are cooling their heels in 3rd spot. They're going to the rings.
Ice is often a gymnast's very best friend. I think Peter is still feeling the effects of that hard impact on his dismount off parallel bars.
Meantime, here's the final shot for Abbotsford, BC's Richard Aikita.
Scott, this is a very difficult event to finish on. The guys are really fatigued at this point. And look at the muscles working there. Trying to hold the Maltese, needs to hold each position for 2 seconds, and you know that one was a little bit short.
Richard won a bronze medal on the rings in 1994 in Victoria. He may have another shot to get to the apparatus final, depending on his result here.
He's just done one special requirement, 1 more to go. Oh, he has bypassed a special requirement. Although he hasn't fallen, that's a 4/10 deduction. He needed to hold that handstand. You know, Scott, the judges are going to kill him for this one.
Well, the Canadians started very strong on the vault, and they faded from there. Meantime, we go to England, a surprise leader in this men's team event, and this is their star, Andrew Atherton. He finishes up on the floor exercise.
Actually, this should be a walk in the park for Andrew. A fairly simple routine is planned, but at this point, that may be the smartest way to go. Don't make any mistakes, and you'll be standing on the gold medal spot on the podium.
English have to be strong on the floor exercise here in the final rotation because they know that the Australians are finishing up on the vault, traditionally an apparatus where you can get high scores, and the Australians are still within reach.
And this is where Andrew gets all of his high score. That pommel horse work, Fedorchenko is the name of it, is probably the most valuable part of his routine. It has a D value. Most of his other elements are only A's, B's, and C's. But what he has in his favor, Scott, rarely makes a mistake. Every landing is fairly solid. And if you don't show the judges any mistakes, they can't take off any marks. A very simple double twist, so not a spectacular routine, but he has challenged the judges to actually find a deduction.
Atherton is the big English hope in the all-around competition, which will be coming up in a couple of days' time here at the Putra Stadium. He's greeted by his teammates. There's Lee McDermott, Ross Brewer, and the coaching staff. Great job by Andrew Atherton, who has been solid wall-to-wall across 6 for the English.
And that's exactly what it takes to win. Solid, steady performances. There's his whip back, 1.5, rebounds perfectly, anticipates the landing on the next 1.5. Only a slight 1/10 deduction on that entire line.
8.925, the score posted by Atherton. We'll do some quick calculations, find out what the Australians might need on their final vault. 7.75, meantime, is the score by Richard Aikita, disappointing for Canada. Here's Brett Hudson. He needs a 9.676 on this final vault if Australia is to surpass England and win the gold medal.
And it is possible. He's doing a Yurchenko double twist, has a start value of 9.8. He drills it into the ground, but Scott, that step backwards, I don't think he's going to get the 9.6.
Brett Hudson of Australia, 24 years old, from New South Wales.
This is a fantastic vault. Tons of power. Round off entry, bumps it up, 2 twists, spots the landing, but he is slightly short. Has to take the step.
Needed more than a 9.6. He doesn't get it. 9.525. And the vault champion from Victoria puts his hands through his hair. He knows that the English Rose stands atop the podium. Their female counterparts celebrate. England, for the first time, has won the gold medal in the men's team gymnastics event at the Commonwealth Games. And Canada settles for bronze. 3 gold in a row leading up to this. England by just more than a 1/10 over Australia. Canada is third. A great day for Lee McDermott.
Oh yeah, sure. I think it's the first English gold medal, so and it's nice to beat the Canadians as well. I'm sorry, guys, but it is, and we're just totally over the moon.
Well, starstruck are the Canadians. They had won 3 gold medals in a row dating back to 1978 Edmonton. They also won in Auckland and in Victoria, but in tough this time, Carol Angela.
A very strange sight to watch them walk past the gold and the silver place and step onto the bronze.
English win this time, and it was a great team effort on their part by Lee McDermott, John Smethurst. There's Craig Heap, also Andrew Atherton and Ross Brewer as the English take the gold medal in KL. We'll be back with the women's team event tomorrow.